Hi everyone, welcome to Gentle Yoga on the Mat. And before we get started, make sure you have your yoga mat, maybe a blanket, and a couple of yoga blocks if you're used to using them. If you'd like to put on your own yoga music, that would also be a great thing to do too. Okay, so let's start. We're going to just start by lying down on the mat. So get into any comfortable position for you. Right, and I want you to have no effort here at all. Just beginning to lay down on the floor, letting your whole body sink into the ground. I want you to close your eyes, and we're just going to do our check-in here. So with eyes closed, I want you to scan yourself from head to toe and just notice how your physical body is feeling today. Move your awareness now to your mental body and your thoughts. Just become the observer of your thoughts and just notice, what's been going on and through that mind of yours. Without any judgment in any of these check-ins, we'll now move to the heart center and ask yourself, how are you feeling today? We're going to let that go and just remind ourselves that we're not going to judge today. We are just going to be here in the moment, try to stay as present as possible, and maybe even cultivate some gratitude for where we are right now. So with that, I want you to move your hands to your lower belly. Just rest the hands there. And without changing your breath yet, I want you to observe the movement there in that stomach. Notice if there's any movement at all. Right, do the hands rise up to the ceiling when you breathe in? Do they come back toward your spine when you breathe out? Whatever is happening with the breath, we'll start to deepen it a little bit. So go ahead and just nudge the breath a little deeper. It doesn't have to be by much. I don't want you to feel like you're straining to get a deep breath. Just begin to inhale the air right into that low belly so the hands start to rise up to the ceiling. And then when you breathe out, your hands naturally fall back toward the floor. So go ahead and do this at your own breath pattern, right? We all breathe differently. There's no right or wrong. Just inhaling, the hands rise on your belly, and exhale, they float down. So keep this deep breath with you through the whole class if you can. And remember not to do anything that's painful, right? Nothing should hurt. You should feel a good stretch. You're always balancing what you need in the moment. And then so from here, we can gently crack the eyes open to bring some awareness in. And wherever you're laying on your mat, I just want you to bend both knees at this point to take those feet to the ground. And then walk your feet mat distance apart so that they're wider than your hips. Shoulders soft, spine is long. And we're just going to start to windshield wiper those legs, right? So both knees fall to the same side, nice and gentle. And then they're going to come all the way back up to the ceiling and go over to the other side. So go ahead and keep this movement going. If you'd like to match it with your breath, it's an inhale as the knees rise up toward the ceiling and an exhale as they gently fall toward the floor. So go ahead and windshield wiper those legs just a couple more times. You take your time, but on your next inhale, let those knees come back up to the sky. And then I want you to walk your feet in to hip distance apart, pretty close into your seat. right? Your arms are just resting by your sides with your palms face down into your mat. Neck is nice and long. Check that breath again. Is it still deep? Perfect. Okay. So now I want you to bring your awareness into the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. And when you're ready, I want you to press into the feet, and on the inhale breath, lift the hips up toward the ceiling. On the exhale breath, take those hips right back down to the mat. So we're just kind of working a bridge vinyasa here. Every inhale, lift those hips up toward the ceiling. Every exhale, float back down from top of the spine to the bottom of the spine. A few more bridge lifts. Here we go. Ready? Inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. Again, moving at your own pace though. So take your time. Do one more bridge vinyasa. The next time your tailbone makes its way to the mat, we'll pause there. Check on your breath. And then as you're ready, you're going to draw both knees into your chest and wrap your hands around your legs there. So releasing the back. And then if you're up for it, I want you to take one hand on each knee, right? Your hands on your knees, and draw little circles with your hands and your knees so that you're getting this, this gentle back massage in a circular motion on your back. Now let's switch the direction of those circles and go the other way. And now pause your knee circles. Knees are still into the chest. And I just want you to flex and point your ankles a couple times. And then rotate those ankles in one direction. And rotate them in the other direction. And then as you're ready, just allow those feet to come back to the mat. Take a breath. And then as you're ready, we're going to roll over to your side and then use your top hand into the floor to come to a seated position. All right, and once we've come up to sit, check on your posture here, right? Having that tailbone down into the earth, lifting the heart, shoulders are dropping. And then how are you comfortable here in your seat? If you feel like there's back pain, if you're hunching over, you probably might want to sit on a blanket or some blocks. Be comfortable here where you can feel your spine nice and tall. Once you've got that tall spine and you have that effort in that spine, allow some ease to come in too. So relax your face, your temples, your jaw. And then again, reconnect to your breath. Perfect. So with a nice tall spine, I want you to just draw your right fingertips to the floor next to you, relaxing your shoulders. Now sweep your left arm all the way up to the ceiling. If your shoulder allows, right? If you have shoulder issues, bend that elbow, relax that shoulder. And then I want you to lean over to the right, getting a nice side lean in that left side body. So left shoulder dropping and left sitting bone also dropping, right? So you have lots of length in that left side. Listen to your rib cage. It'll tell you how far to go. Listen to your breath. When you find the next inhale, lift that arm, spine straight to the ceiling, and then exhale that left arm down to the ground. Perfect. Now left fingertips are melting into the floor. Lift your right arm up, big inhale. Right shoulder down, right hip down, and leaning over to the left, right? So stretching through the right side body, maybe even into the hip and the armpit. So just breathe through that right side, stacking your shoulders. And then next inhale takes you all the way back up to the ceiling, and exhale that arm to the floor. Take a deep breath. Now from here, I just want you to rest your hands on your legs. And we'll do like a little seated cat-cow here. So when you breathe in, I want you to tilt your tailbone forward or your pelvis forward, right? Stretching through the front spine, sticking that chest out with the shoulders back, right? And then on the exhale, tuck your tailbone round through the whole entire spine and shoulder blades, drawing your chin towards your chest. So inhale again, tilt forward, lifting heart, spreading from pec to pec across the front of the chest. And then exhale, squeeze it all in, tucking your heart, tucking your chin. So just moving the spine in both directions at your own breath. On the inhale, stretching your front spine, right? And on the exhale, stretching the back spine, really tucking that tail and stretching out that low back. Let's do 2 more at your own pace. Big inhales and long, slow exhales. All right, taking your time. Next time you find your breath in, we're just going to sit nice and tall, back to basically our seated mountain pose. From here, everyone, I just want you to draw your left hand to your right knee and just walk your right fingertips right behind your spine on the floor. Right, shoulders are dropping, and then inhale to lift your heart nice and high. Exhale, twist from the belly button to the right. So belly button starts the twist, moving around all the way up the spine. The head's kind of floating on top of the spine there. Right, so you don't have to strain to look over the right shoulder. Breathe deep. If something doesn't feel right, come out. So work on that breath while you're in this twist. Find the inhale to unwind that spine all the way back around to the center. Okay, friends, take your right hand to your left knee. Walk your left fingertips right behind your back. And now inhale, lift heart. Shoulders down, exhale, twist the belly button to the left. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. And now focus on your lungs here, right? On your inhale, how hard is this pose? Right, you're stretching your internal organs via your ribs expanding and your lungs expanding. Take one more breath in this twist and make it really deep. On the next inhale, when it comes, come back around to the middle. Nice, everybody. From here, we're going to take a moment to draw onto our hands and knees. So if you want to flop your legs off to the side, come onto hands and knees on your mat. We're going to start off in a child's pose. So some people like to have their knees pretty tight together in child's pose, and some people like those knees wide apart. That's up to you. Wherever you are with your knees, sinking your hips back towards your heels, extending the arms out in front, and resting the forehead on the floor. If the forehead doesn't reach the floor, not a big deal, right? Just grab a yoga block and breathe here. Now, even though our arms are out in front of us, do make sure your shoulders are back toward the hips. So even if the elbows are lifted off the mat, the shoulders are still in the sockets. All right, in your child's pose, take a few deep breaths here and just releasing the hips, releasing the back, and taking this opportunity to ask yourself, am I being present with myself? All right, child's pose. We're going to inhale to lift back up into a hands and knees position. You should be pretty well spread out here for a downward facing dog. Hands are shoulder width apart. They're a little bit forward of your shoulders here. You're going to tuck the toes underneath. Get the weight in the legs, everybody. And then start to lift the hips, straighten the knees. Knees don't have to come all the way straight. So your hips are nice and high and you look like an upside down V. Downward facing dog. We're not going to be here long. It's a gentle class. So just observe what's going on in the body. If this is too much for you, already come to walk into a forward fold. Not a big deal. But if you're okay in down dog, stay here for a few more breaths. Right, lifting tailbone high, relaxing head and neck. pressing through the base of the fingers, not jamming in the wrist. Keeping a soft bend in the knee if needed. As you're ready, everyone, you're going to look forward to your hands. You're going to walk your feet all the way up to your hands. And once you make your way into this forward fold, go ahead and let your upper body be like jello for a minute and let the legs do the work. Right? So 4 corners of feet pressing into the ground. Quads firm a little bit, right? Those thighs are engaged, but not overdoing it. And really let your head and neck go. All that tension rolling out of your head right onto your mat. Okay, guys, firm up your legs. Check in on your abdominal muscles. Use those muscles to start rolling yourself up to stand little by little, base of the spine, all the way to the top of the spine. Take as much time as you need to roll up into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Right, so just be sure those feet are parallel to each other, legs are strong, shoulders are back and down, tailbone drawing down slightly, crown of the head lifting. And that same softness in your face we checked on earlier, right? Relax your jaw, relax your eyeballs. Find your deep breath. So just do a couple gentle sun breaths here, everyone. With that mountain pose, that beautiful mountain pose posture you have, root down through your feet. Spread those fingers to get some energy in those fingertips. Big breath in to sweep those arms out and up over your head, possibly getting the palms to touch. And then big exhale to take the palms straight down to your heart center. Do that 2 more times. Big inhale, sweep those arms out and up. Exhaling, palms out, heart center. And 1 more at your own pace. And then relaxing those arms back to your mountain pose. So wherever you are on your mat, we're going to turn so you're facing the long side of your mat, and you're going to step your feet nice and wide. We're going to prep for a warrior 2 here. So with legs 3 to 4 feet apart, it really depends on your height and your joints. We're going to turn the right toes to face the front of the mat. And then we're also going to turn in the left toes slightly toward your body. Okay, so get the weight equal in both legs. We're going to take those arms parallel to the ground. Relax the shoulders though, right? Energy out the fingers. And now start to bend your right knee, but also press weight into your left leg as well. If you notice your right knee passes your right ankle, you want to give yourself a little wider stance or just unbend your knee a little bit. Keep that knee safe. You should also be able to peek at your right big toe, right? So keeping the knee aligned over the ankle. All right, so here's our warrior 2 pose. Relax those shoulders, find your soft face. Holding and breathing here, and check that your weight is pretty equal in the legs. Might be a little bit more in that right leg, but that left leg is grounding you as well. All right, we're going to do a little mini vinyasa here. So on your breath in, take your arms straight up to the sky to meet palms touch and straighten your right leg too. And then on the breath out, back to warrior 2. Arms come parallel, right knee bends. So again, inhale, straightening everything, both legs, arms overhead. And exhale, rebend that right knee. So 1 more time. Inhaling, arms scoop up. They don't have to touch. Exhale, bend the right knee again. Hold warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. All right, everyone, straighten your right leg. Without locking knees are safe. Reach your right fingertips toward the front of your mat for triangle. Get a good hip crease in that right side, and then just tilt your chest toward the right. So the right hand might meet the leg or a block, or it could even be hovering for extra work. Left arm rises to the sky. If shoulders bothering you, just drop your left arm on your body. No big deal, right? Breathing here, trying to stack your hips and your shoulders on top of each other and pull in that belly. Find your breath in your Trikonasana, in your triangle pose. All right, friends, find your belly, find your strong legs, and then inhale yourself back up to stand. Relaxing your arms, and then just flip-flopping your feet to the left side. So maybe you're facing the back of your mat, your left toes are at the back of the mat, your right toes are also turned in. Check your breath before we go on. Is it still nice and deep? Are you still in the moment? Perfect. Arms float parallel to the ground again. Right? We're going to let that left knee bend into our warrior two, gazing out over those left fingers. Grounding through the back foot as well, tailbone dropping, belly pulling in. Shoulders soft. We're going to add that little vinyasa here, warrior two. So inhale, straighten your left leg and take your arms over your head. Exhale, rebend that left knee, arms parallel back to warrior two. So just two more like that. Inhale, straightening your limbs. Exhale, bending left knee and arms parallel to the ground. Last one. Inhaling up. And exhaling, sink back to warrior two. All right, from Virabhadrasana 2, we're going to move into our triangle. Straighten your left leg. Reach your left fingers toward the front of your mat. Keep that heart open as you tilt your chest toward the left hand down to the block, the leg, or hovers, right arm either straight to the sky, overhead, or resting on your body. Check your triangle back here. Is back being supported by your belly? If not, go ahead, pull in the belly a little bit, but then still breathe deep. All right, everybody, ground through both feet and abs. Big inhale to take you out of the pose. Exhale, release your arms. And then just walk and heel toe those feet all the way back into your mountain pose, facing whatever direction you'd like to on your mat. All right, we're going to move into just one last standing pose here. Let's do our balancing tree, Vrksasana. So as you're ready, as in all of our poses, right, we start in mountain no matter what. So refine that Tadasana, good old mountain pose. Feel strong and confident, but not so strong that you can't bend and be flexible, right? So we have to have both. As you're ready, root down through one foot, right? Strong foot. We're going to soften the other knee and dislodge that other foot from the ground. So you don't have to take the toes off the mat. Before you even do that, I just want you to open that bent knee hip to the side. It doesn't have to be all the way to the side because you still want your hips facing forward. But maybe you're using your toes or the ball of your foot as a kickstand, and maybe that's perfect for your tree today. If you need a little bit more in your tree, you're going to go ahead and lift the foot off the ground and take it below or above the knee. Feel free to use a wall or a chair or anything that you need to hold on to. Keep staring at one focal point, right, guys? Don't dart those eyes around. Keep them fixed. And if you want to add some arms, you can. Hands can come out heart center. They can come overhead. They can be out to the sides with a mudra. You choose. Breathe in your tree. And then with control and ease, start to rewind out of your tree, taking the foot back to the ground, closing off the hip, and coming back to your mountain. Okay, we're going to let that go, right? Because we can't get it back. It's not here anymore. And we're not even on tree on the other side yet. So we're just going to be in this moment. In this moment, we have our mountain pose, we have our deep breath, and then we'll bend the other knee, right? So other knee bends and that hip opens to the side. So find that strength in your standing leg, and your body will tell you if you're going to lift the foot or not. Every day is different. Be gentle with yourself. If you are going to lift the foot, go ahead and lift that foot and rest it on the leg. Again, not pressing into the knee joint. Go below or above the knee. Eyes fixed on that spot. And then choose your arm position if you'd like. Here it comes, guys, with control. Start to rewind out of tree back to your mountain pose. Take your time. If you fall, you fall. No big deal, but we want to try to be graceful. Once you've come back to mountain pose, we're going to widen the feet just a foot or two with toes outward and soften the knees. I just want us to throw in some hip circles here like hula hoops. So go ahead and hands on hips, just swing your hips around, little or big circles to release any tension in hips and back. So just big circles in those hips. As you're ready, switch the direction of your hip circles. All right, and then coming back to center. From here, I want you to come take a seat on your mat with legs outstretched in front of you. So if your legs are outstretched in front of you and your hamstrings, your calves are screaming, then of course you're either going to put bends in the knees or sit up on some blocks and a blanket. And make sure that your back is comfortably straight. And once you've done that, we're just going to sweep the hands behind us, interlacing the fingers. Right, so shoulders are back. And just draw those hands away from your back with soft elbows. So just adding a little shoulder stretch here. Shoulder blades come together, stretching through the front of the chest. Breathe deep into the heart. All right, relaxing your hands, and then you're just coming to Dandasana, your staff pose. It's just like mountain on a hinge, right? So rooting down through your sitting bones, flexing your feet, shoulders rolling back and down, gentle engaging of the abs, lifting up to the crown of the sky. All right, so here we are in Paschimottanasana. We're going to go ahead and move into that pose, right? Inhale those arms up to the sky, shoulders down in the sockets though. Start to hinge at your hips, guys, and come forward. Even though our heart is technically coming down to the floor, feel like it's lifting up to the sky as you go down. So lifting that heart and that front spine as much as possible, as long as you can, and then until you can't go any further. And then it's okay to go ahead and round your back, drop your head if you wish, drop your arms, and rest in a forward fold for a few breaths. Notice what's going on with you. If something doesn't feel right, come up a little bit. If you just feel a nice, good stretch, just breathe through it. Notice if your mind is wandering. If it is, that's completely normal. You're just going to gently bring yourself back to your breathing. Take one more really good deep breath here in your forward fold. All right, friends, you ready? You're going to just start to peel yourself up out of this fold, right? So starting at that low spine and rolling yourself all the way up. So you're sitting nice and tall again. And then from here, we're going to roll down. So if you need to scooch forward a little bit on your mat to make room, take a moment or two to roll down onto the floor on your back. And then once we get there, just feel this feeling, right? Of just laying on the floor and feeling the ground supporting you. Staying in this moment in time. Check the breath is still deep, just like we had it in the beginning of class. Now take both knees back into the chest like we did earlier. But then from here, straighten those legs straight to the sky. And then we're going to take our arms straight up to the sky. Right? And then I want you to circle your ankle joints and your wrist joints. So go ahead and get any kinks out in those ankles and wrists. like a little dying bug pose, and then switch directions. Ankles and wrists go the other way. All right, nice. Start to bend the knees and give yourself a big hug again. So knees into chest, hands on the shins or the thighs. Take a few breaths here. All right, so with knees still into the chest, I want you to draw your arms out to a T on the floor. Spine's nice and straight, right? And then as you're ready, you're going to let both knees fall toward one side into a reclining twist. Now, if this is too much for you, if your knees don't touch the ground and you really want to relax into the pose, grab your block or your blanket and throw it underneath those legs. It's okay too if the opposite shoulder pops up a little bit. It depends what you're going for. If you're going for more of a restful reclining twist or if you want more of an active one, that's up to you. And then once you finagle yourself into the pose, forget about it, right? Just focus on feeling and sensation. You got yourself there. Now just let your breath breathe you. Bring your mind back to your breath if it wandered. And then with control, use your belly if you need to. We're going to lift those knees back to the center. So knees come back to the center of the chest. Make sure your spine is straight again, right? Relaxing the shoulders. We're going to allow those knees to fall to the other side now. Again, making adjustments and using your props if you need them. If you have neck issues, you're just gently staring at the ceiling or eyes are closed. But if you want a little extra, the head can always gaze away from the knees. Listen to your body clues though. Do not listen to your ego here. Your body will tell you how to move. If you can, tune into your lungs in your rib cage. Let all your awareness be on those lungs filling and emptying in this twist. Take your last breath in this twist, make it a really good one. Good job, guys. And mindfully take those knees back up toward the ceiling and back into the chest. Wrapping your hands around your knees or your shins, and go ahead and rock side to side, or if you prefer those knee circles, go ahead and do that. We're going to move into Shavasana relaxation now. However, if you're laying on your mat and you feel like you really need another stretch that we did not do together, you're welcome to go ahead and do that on your own for a few moments. However, if you all ready to relax, you're going to find that comfortable position for you. Make sure you're warm enough. Make sure you have all your props. And classic Shavasana, you may be just laying flat on the ground with legs stretched out, flopped out to the sides, palms open. If you have back issues, maybe you'll have your knees bent resting on each other. Or maybe if you're on your feet all day, you're going to bring yourself over to the wall and rest your legs on the wall while you relax. You choose your favorite pose to relax in. All right, and once you're all settled in and ready for Shavasana, I'll just go through a quick a check-in with the physical body to make sure you can really let go. So at this time, no more focusing on the breath as far as deepening it. You're just going to let it be natural. You let your whole body sink into the floor. So with eyes closed, let's just bring awareness to the feet first. And just notice your feet. That's it. Notice how calm they are. Have some gratefulness for the feet for bringing us around all day. And then spread that awareness to your ankles and your lower legs. And then relax your knees and your upper legs. Relax the pelvis and the glutes. Relaxing the hips. Softening the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. Relaxing the belly and the chest. Softening your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, wrists, backs of the hand, palms of the hand. Relaxing your fingers and even your fingernails. Softening the neck and releasing all tension in that neck. Feel the back of your head broadening on the floor. Relaxing the top of your head, your scalp. Feel your forehead start to smooth out. Relaxing the eyes and the eyebrows, the nose, the cheeks, the ears. Relax the mouth. Relax the chin. Relax the tongue and the jaw. And we're going to take just a couple moments here in our Shavasana. When you feel ready, you'll just bring your awareness back to your senses, maybe everything except your eyes. Right, so feel the air temperature, feel the clothes on your body, feel the floor underneath you. And then listen to the sounds in the room, possibly even outside the room. The sense of taste, maybe swallowing. And then maybe taking a nice deep breath, activating a little bit more movement in the body by deepening the breath. And before you even open your eyes, just imagining the room around you, bringing your mind back to this present moment. If you would like, set an intention for the rest of the day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.